The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Tuesday, the 31st day of May 2022. Welcome to the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House, One Communications and Lindos. I'm Jamal Hartman. She's Sanchez Durham, and Leanna Lambert will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Sanchez.
Good morning. I feel like I haven't seen you since, when was I on? Last week, Monday?
I mean, you've been on holiday. Oh, no, you haven't been on holiday because you were like on not triple, not quadruple, but you were on mommy duties to the max. Like, I mean, so how was your Bermuda day? Not holiday. How was your Bermuda day weekend?
My Bermuda day was amazing. Amazing. I mean, we haven't had we did have the marathon last year, right? It was good. But this year it was coming from Somerset.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the feel of it when it comes from the West, it's so different.
No bias. No bias.
No bias. So the marathon was good. So we got up early and then we had to get ready for the day, right? Because my son, Sir Maddox, he was riding scramblers in the parade. Then he was a Gumby. And so we had to pack for all of that the night before and make sure we was out of the house before the roads got blocked, before the runners started at 8:30. So yes, but it was a wonderful day. Like the energy for the parade, it was amazing. Amazing.
So were you I gotta ask, because I mean I haven't seen any video yet. I did catch you on camera once or twice. But what kind of, you know how they have soccer mom, parade mom, or Gumby mom? Like, anyway, what kind were you? Were you the one who just walked along, or were you like dancing and all into it and screaming your son's name? Talk to us now. Talk to us.
I am that mom. I'm like a helicopter mom. So Maddox was so nervous. I don't know why. When it came to the motocross, to the point. I don't know if anybody saw that the truck, the soca truck that had no, it wasn't a soca truck. It was a dance group. They had a truck. The music was so loud. I felt like it was like pounding through me. Maddox was so nervous that he was like, "Mom, I just need to take a nap." On the sidewalk, this truck is blaring music and Maddox is sleeping in the middle of it because his nerves were so bad. But I'm that mom that's like in the mix. Like, are you okay? Do you need water? And then don't talk about when H&H called him out for his first dance. I was like, ow!
We appreciate that. I think I did see one video where he was dancing and I sounded like your voice. Go Maddox, go Maddox. And proud mama. Was this his first parade?
Say that again.
Was this his first parade?
This was Maddox's first parade.
Oh, nice.
It was his first parade. But Maddox went all out. He did 2 rounds, and I had to walk those 2 rounds. We both did costume change because I couldn't wear so I started off with my Bermuda motocross t-shirt, and then I had to switch into my H&H t-shirt.
So you walked two rounds, right? Here's the thing, and I say this. You know what? I'm an equal opportunity offender. It may offend somebody, but I'm not trying to offend, is the thing. But I say this with the greatest amount of respect for people who participate in the parade. And I'm going to use Shawande. He was on the show. How he does what he does with that big drum and spinning and all that. I legit was like, I go running, just went 2 miles this morning. what are the fitness levels of the people that take part in the parade? I was looking at the majorettes and the boots they have on, right? And I'm just like, there's levels to this, and they do this all to entertain Bermudians. All to entertain us. So how many steps did you do, Sancha?
You know what? I didn't even, and I thought about that afterwards. I didn't even have on my watch. But I can go back and look at my phone. I'm gonna figure that out for tomorrow.
Yeah, I want to know because honestly, I have so much like the dancers, the gumbers, like the energy that they're using for the entire length of it. I was just like a mere, and maybe I'm strange because I was just thinking like, how fit. And remember when Zayn and Shawande were on, I was speaking, like I remember, I shared the story that I remember when gumbers, I would see them running through the neighborhood on a run, and I'm like, why are you guys running? Oh, gumbe practice, and you don't even consider the fitness levels that are needed to do it. But props, I just want to say, go ahead.
Do you know how many hours they danced? So we counted it because we got towards the end and we were like, okay. And when I tell you, it's my first time, right? So it's my first time walking with them. And when I tell you H&H aims to please, I was like, they're going to dance here. They just danced there. But they danced for like, I want to say it was like 4.5 hours. Sure. We didn't get over to Tennis Stadium, like the end over there towards the end, until after 8. They danced the entire, and they probably had 3 to 4.
We have to move on, but I want to say this. I have always respected them, but there's just a level of respect for the amount of work that you all put into performing during the parade. So props to you. Jason Sugdeo actually says 13,000 steps for him, so twice that. So up 26 of them is probably 30,000 steps. Sancha, you're there. That place says my daughter's group dance, and I did 5,000 steps as I was in and out of their lines. Imagine I danced with him, it would be way more. Now, I did see something. I saw a video that surfaced this weekend, and I think it was you, Sam Cat Place. You were beating the gumbe drums. I saw that, and I was like, check our girl. So now when we have a little daily hour get together, we're expecting a little ding, 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 ding. You know what I'm saying? We're expecting
this video.
Yeah. Send that to us. Sherry Vanderpool says the real MVP parade, MVPs, parade participants, and the parents. Now, look, we have to get to a question because there was some, we all love the parade, but we're just going to be very direct with you this morning because there's been some conversation on social media, and I'm going to put the picture up and we'll speak to it. Sancha, there was an uproar per se in certain sectors of the community regarding this float from the Bermuda Day Parade, and this is Sophia Cannonier, who has been very, I guess, open and very direct regarding her fight for natural immunity. As it says here, her trial is June 9th and 10th. The challenge that many people are having is the comparison to Sally Sarah Bassett, right? People think it's been offensive. People think it's disrespectful, right? Now, I thought it was just people that were making that comparison until I was directed to Sophia Cannonier's Facebook page where she actually put Sally Sarah Bassett. Now, the question of the morning to the audience is very simple. What do you make of the float Sophia Cannonier was on? And I don't want to really go and use other people's tweets, but I'm just going to say young Black Bermuda did not seem too happy. And I'm not going to read some of the tweets. I would encourage you, even if you don't have Twitter, to just go on and search for it. But I don't want to use other people's words on this show as it relates to Twitter. But young Black Bermudians were not pleased. Let's just leave it at that. So what are your thoughts? What do you make of the float Sophia Cannonier was on during the Bermuda Day Parade? Sancha, should we go to the audience, or are you waiting to go?
Okay, now a minute to compose myself. Jamal, so this was sent to me, right? Mm-hmm. And because I had such a long day, I looked at it, but I didn't take it in. So last night, I was like, let me go back to this. And, when I went back to this and I saw that she compared her struggle, what she deems to be a struggle, compared it to Sally Bassett, Jamal, I was so enraged. I was angry. I could not. You are comparing your fight to that of Sally Bassett, who was a slave that was raped. And Jamal, I'm taking deep breaths. I'm taking deep breaths because I am disgusted. I'm appalled. I'm enraged. I do not understand where, like, how does she have the gall to compare? And to be honest, and I'm gonna say it, we always say that this is my view, it's not the Daily Hour. I am over Sophia Cannonier and her attention seeking ways. I'm over it. Sophia, I said it. I'm over it.
You know, before we go to the audience, I just want to say this. You know, I often say this on this show, and I mean it because I feel like it needs to be related to those who can relate. And I share it unapologetically. But it's not just my skin that's dark as night, right? When I say I'm black, I am black. My black experience as a black male is very different from many other black males who are much lighter than me. We can look at Hollywood and we can see how colorism benefits certain people. And I saw some comments on Twitter that said it's always the folks who can pass for something else that use this privilege. Yeah. And there was some comments on it that were just violently wrong that I'm not going to repeat. But I say all that to say this. I remember we were fighting conscription, and you know, Larry Marshall Sr. said, you know, it's interesting that Muhammad Ali took this same stance, and people were ready to throw him to the dogs and is disrespecting the country for not going to fight in Vietnam and so on. And years later, most of those people apologized and came to their senses per se. I get the comparison, but I think this is the valid question. When I say I get the comparison, I mean, I get why she is comparing herself. I get why she's comparing herself, but because I get it doesn't mean I agree. And I'm gonna tell you why. Somebody put the question out there on Twitter and they basically said, I'm not quite sure people understand the difference between oppression and inconvenience. And I think the question that needs to be asked is, are people who refuse to get vaccinated or comply with the COVID rules, right? Are they being oppressed or are they being inconvenienced? And I think that's what this made me really ask myself. Like, is it oppression or is it an inconvenience? Now, using my own experience, we can give you 10,000 reasons why it was oppression. Using her example, I'm not quite sure it is oppression, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But I understand why a large majority of the people find it so disrespectful to compare it to an enslaved, mixed race, Black woman who was burned to death. And again, there were some people who put some outright evil stuff on social media against her, which I am not in support of or won't repeat. But I think I understand Sanchez's frustration in saying we're over her. And mind you, people said they were over me guys all in the news all the time. Sometimes you just have to let, you know, as Larry Marshall Sr. finally realized, if you're going to court, let the process see itself out.
And what I have realized is, so I put this up on my status yesterday and so many people responded. I felt like the older people were just like, I do not have energy for this lady. And it was like they saw it, but they're not playing into her whole agenda. You know, it was just like, I'm leaving this alone. Yeah. But the question that I had is, okay, obviously this float was put in the parade as a part of her business, Lotus, right? Now they have kids on this float. my question is, did the parents know about this ahead of time?
Mm.
Or was this something that, okay, we're doing our normal May 24th, we're showcasing what we do in class, and then when the float took off, we jumped up on there and tied ourselves up. Even when the float was judged, I I want to know, like, did the judges feel like this was appropriate?
Mm. Mm.
I just have so many questions. And then, another question is, okay, you tied yourself up, and this came from someone in our circle that brought this to my attention. You tied yourself up, you had these ropes around you, but then you were able to slide your hand out and like wave.
Mm.
Like, hey,
Mm.
Sally Bassett didn't have that privilege. She was shackled.
Let's see what the audience is saying. What do you make of the float Sophia Cannonier was on? Well, let me show the picture again if you didn't see it. That is her above with her ropes around her. And this is obviously to bring attention to the natural immunity trial. Apparently a comparison to Sarah Bassett by her own Facebook status. Question of the morning is, what do you make of the float that Sophia Cannonier was on, and you all are speaking? Carlton Fleming says it is offensive and reeks of narcissism. Karen Simmons says to compare yourself and the struggle to Sarah Sally Bassett is offensive and disrespectful. Sherry Vanderpool says, but who co-signed this crazy idea? Where are her friends? We've got Sam Cat Place and Michelle White for you.
Sam Caplay says, while you can make a point, she took it way too far. Just had to shake my head. Michelle White, she used a public holiday forum for her personal message. Inappropriate. I recognized her comparison to Sally Bassett and could only laugh because there were no comparison.
Shawnette Bell says, when I first saw it, it was pulling out on Front Street. The anger inside of me wanted to come out, but I had to compose myself. Shana Smith says, I didn't realize the comparison to Sally Bassett until after the fact, but I saw the float on the day and thought she looked ridiculous. And yes, Sanchez seeking attention. And Karen Simmons says, yes, the judges thought it was appropriate because she got a second place ribbon. Interesting. Well, you know what, Sanchez?
That's my question.
It's
go ahead.
I want to go back to the Sally Bassett. If she didn't mention Sally Bassett, would we feel differently if there was no comparison to Sally Bassett? If she was just out there showing this is how I feel.
I feel like that's her cause, and that's fine. But you cannot disrespect someone, to kind of fight for your cause. So if Sally Bassett wasn't mentioned at all, that's your cause. I'm okay with that. Whether I agree with it or not. I was one of the people that didn't agree with it from jump. I feel like she broke the law. She should have been arrested, and that was that. Mm-hmm. I'm one of those people. But at the end of the day, I get it. But when you go and compare yourself to Sally Bassett and that struggle, it went straight left field for me.
No, I get it. And I agree with you to the point where, again, I say it all the time. When we were fighting conscription, we were breaking the law. However, we were all prepared to deal with the consequences. If you're breaking a law, you've got to be prepared to deal with the consequences. And if they say they're coming to arrest you, you go in peace. That's what we were taught, right? But so I agree with you with that. I actually I don't disagree with her fight. And I'll tell you why I don't disagree with the fight, because her convictions, her beliefs are saying that, no, they made this decision without considering the antibodies. So I actually agree that, I think she actually has a case. I'll be fair with that. My issue with this entire thing is I'm not quite sure you needed to bring in Sally Bassett to further your point. I don't think there was a need for it. And I understand the frustration of people who find issue with it. I don't think it was a good idea. And it's something we had to learn fighting conscription.
But let me say this, Jamal, when you fought conscription, sorry, can't get the medal. When you fought it, you were taught, as you said, like grassroots, like this is your belief, this is what you're fighting for by any means. If you got arrested, you were prepared to face that.
Correct.
I am sorry, but Sophia Cannonier is fighting this fight. It's through privilege. Every time you look, it's like she's being protected in a way. She's not prepared to kind of take on what the fight to say it.
I agree, because Rosa Parks. Let me jump in, because I think, Sancho, what you're saying is when she first did it, I remember some of her supporters saying, "Oh, this is like Rosa Parks." No, Rosa Parks went. She understood the consequences. She allowed herself to be arrested. I think what you're saying is that she's letting her privilege lead her fight, so there's no comparison with people who had no privilege.
Exactly. And she's comparing herself to these people. And it's like, if you don't stop, like, these people had real fights and they went through a lot. They went through a lot. Like, you have lawyers protecting you. You have, like, when the police come to get you, it's like, no, she's not going. Come on.
And the truth, you're absolutely correct, Sancho. I think what you're explaining is what many people find bothersome.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not okay. It is not okay. I'm not okay.
What do you make of the float Sophia Cannonier was on? Renee Simmons for you, Sanchez.
I'm like Sherry. I think because it was a parade, she was simply an attention seeker. The comparison, if that's what she meant, was definitely baffling, very insignificant.
Yeah. Sam Cat Place says the theme was togetherness. How was this based on that? Confused. Michelle White also says, what does the comparison of COVID have to do with togetherness? And Michelle White also goes on to say she could have sat on the float with mouth gagged and hands tied with the same sign. That may have been seen as a message. Her fight is legitimate, but not the same comparison. And I think that's where I'm at. I feel like you lose people. You lose people when you start making comparisons like this, because there are people who may actually feel like, she has a decent case, but then you just compared yourself with someone who literally was burned alive.
Think about it. If she was really committed to this cause, right? The theme was togetherness. She really could have taken this theme and let's talk about togetherness, like the people that are anti-vaxxers, the people that are for vaccines. Let's bring us together and stop the bickering, Like, she had an opportunity for it to be a teachable moment for what she believes in. But she was so self-absorbed and made it about herself once again and compared herself to it's just insane to me. Like, you had a moment whereas this actually could have been positive, and it could have been, come on, guys, let's come together so we can understand her fight.
Yeah, I think what Sanchez, that is an absolutely great way to end it, to say that it's a missed opportunity to keep in theme with togetherness. Like, it would have probably made the government feel like crap, because you would have said, you know what?
Exactly.
Anti-vax, pro-vax, natural immunity, we're all going to show you that despite what we're fighting and what we're going through, we are one people. And I think that's a great way to wrap it up. But I want to say this, and I share this because mentioning Sally Bassett. I was in a cab, had some tourists down, and this sums up my time with Bermuda tourism, and like it or not. We had a white meeting planner in the car. And so meeting planners are the people who drive tourists to destinations. And we were driving across the what's that place down there? Cabinet Grounds on Front Street, where the statue of Sally Bassett is. So I was explaining to this lady who Sally Bassett was and how she was burned alive, whatnot. You know what this woman said to me? A white woman from New Jersey said to me. She said to me, why couldn't people just do as they were told? Folks, I was made redundant. My position was made redundant from Bermuda tourism months later. Why do I share this? I share this because that is the level of racism that exists in certain spaces that we would not even consider. Let's bring Leanna in. I'm not quite sure she has an opinion on this one. Good morning, Lee. How are you, good sister?
Good morning, guys. Good morning. It's so nice to see you. Like, Sancho, I feel like it's been forever since I've been on the show. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, it's always a pleasure. You weren't a majorette or anything in the parade last week.
I was not a majorette. However, I was a part of United Dance Productions growing up. So I was with the Suzette Harvey crew that used to, get down throughout the parade.
So what did they celebrate? 30 years or 35 years?
They celebrated 30 years.
30 years? Okay.
Is it 30? Yeah.
It was something large like that. As old as me or you, or whatever. Not as old as Sherry though. But
Yeah.
did you when were you last in the parade?
Let's just say in my teen years. Let's go with that.
The reason I asked, so we have to answer the question, you guys. So we had a trivia question. We had a couple this weekend on our Facebook page, and the question was, of the 3 people mentioned, it was Phil, Maya, and Sanchez.
Yeah.
Who of the 3 has not participated in the parade? And I was shocked, and it told me a lot. One told me some people don't watch the show every day because the answer was given. And then it told me that they had no faith in Phil's skills. So
everybody said Phil? Phil never participated?
Phil, Sanchez, they were all over the place, right? So Sanchez, can you please tell them which majorettes you were a part of in the parade?
Listen, I was in the parade multiple years.
Yeah.
I started out with Warwick. Everybody knows if you marched with Warwick like back in the 90s, you bought it. Well, 80s, let's say late 80s.
Okay.
You bought it. And then after Warwick, Hot Papas came out, and I was like, I need in. I was like, Hot Papa. Yeah.
That's exciting. I was
Phil,
never allowed to be a majorette, and I'm upset because I always wanted. I thought it was so cool, like the baton twirling.
you still have time.
I thought that is a skillful, part of being a part of the parade.
But you still have time, Lee. You can still be a
no,
majorette.
those days are
No,
with
okay.
this belly in front of me. What am I gonna do?
I mean, look, yeah.
You're not gonna have that belly forever.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
There's always next year. But Phil actually was in the parade as well, folks. Phil was a drummer.
Yes.
Was it PhD or
PhD?
PhD. We didn't see him this year, so he must have chickened out. But Phil. So Maya was the answer. Maya Pelosi. I know you all think she's everywhere and in everything, but no, she has not been in the parade. And Lee, we've got Shawnette Bell. She says, agree, Leanna still has time. Lee.
Thank you, Shawnette. Thank you, Shawnee.
They want you. All right, so let's get over to the news break. Leanna's going to bring you the news break, and then after that, we have Nikki Fagan. We're going to talk about some things BDC, folks. So do not go anywhere. Lee, over to you.
Thanks, Janelle and Sanchez, and good morning to everyone that's tuned in with us today. I hope you all had a great Bermuda Day weekend and are enjoying the start to this last day of the month. I'm Leanna Lambert, and it's time for the Daily Hour News Break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Well, the island couldn't have received a more Bermuda-ful day last Friday to welcome back our beloved Bermuda Day Half Marathon Derby and the Bermuda Day Parade. Now, here's a quick recap of what took place. First, the island turned out in full force to cheer on the more than 500 participants that took on the 13-mile route, which returned out of the West End this year. Now, Chris Astawanik defended his men's champion title, while Izzy Ducharant won the women's title for the very first time. Then the streets of Hamilton were lined with tents and thumping with music as Front Street came alive at 1:30 p.m., buzzing of an island happy to regain its traditional opening of summer. Thousands of spectators with a mixture of locals and visitors were there to enjoy the colorful floats, fluorescent costumes, the return of majorettes, the big truck, and our traditional and always a great way to end with our Gumby troops. In other news, a firearm and a quantity of drugs were seized during a routine traffic stop in Southampton. Police said yesterday that officers were carrying out vehicle checks near Horseshoe Bay on Thursday night when they said they had cause to stop a private car being driven by a 40-year-old man who was accompanied by a 29-year-old woman. Now, Detective Superintendent Nicholas Pedro said a search of the vehicle uncovered a loaded firearm and a quantity of suspected controlled drugs, assessed to be sufficient amount for supply. He noted that the seriousness of possessing a firearm, which carries a mandatory minimum sentence of 12 to 17 years in prison or on conviction in the Supreme Court. Now, he warned that officers are actively tasked with catching persons involved in this activity, and they will take steps to ensure that the full force of the law is utilized to achieve this. He urged members of our community to continue help to make Bermuda safer. Now, if you know about anyone with a firearm, he's asked them to call them directly on 211 or the Independent and Anonymous Crime Stoppers hotline on 800-8477. And with the end of the month ushers in a new season. No, it's not quite summer yet. However, as of tomorrow, islanders can prepare themselves as of June 1st marks the start of hurricane season. And with that said, Belco noted that they are taking all the necessary steps to prepare for what forecasters believe will be an active season. Now, the company says that the crisis management team are meeting to ensure early planning and preparations are completed, supplies are ordered, and pre-storm checklists are reviewed. Now, once impact by a hurricane is confirmed, assets, which include new poles, transformers, and so on, are placed in strategic locations ahead of the storm so they can be deployed quickly to needed locations and not be impeded by any obstacles on the island's roads. Now, as we said, meteorologists have predicted an active storm season this year, but Belco President Wayne Keynes said that the public can take comfort in knowing that they are well prepared for whatever may come our way. And he encourages the public to review their own hurricane safety plans, as well as tips and advice to keep their family and property safe. Taking a look at today's weather, we have a high near 80 and a low near 73 degrees. There is plenty of sun to welcome in this Tuesday morning after a couple of showers were earlier on. Now, a weakening cold front moving in from the north will bring the chance of a couple of showers. Other than that, high pressure will dominate through much of the week, bringing more fine, dry, and sunny weather. Temperatures remain a little above average. That's all for our Daily Hour news break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Now let's head back to Jamal and Sanchez in the studio for today's Daily Focus.
All right. Thanks so much for that, Lee. Sanchez, what you got a days of the year for us?
I do have a days of the year for you. I actually have two. So we wanted to do like some historical stuff, right? So in 1910, the Union of South Africa declares its independence from the United Kingdom. Back in 1910. Yes. And then today, I feel like it's an important one that I hope people take heed to. Today, May 31st, is World No Tobacco Day. Okay. Put your cigarettes away or set yourself goals and plan for cutting back or quitting and improving your lung, heart, and even mental health over time. Smoking has long been a habit so many of us would like to kick, but it's something that has been proven to be difficult. World No Tobacco Day was established with the goal of raising awareness of the dangers of this habit and thousands of lives it costs every year. Tobacco can be considered to be very dangerous, bad for our health. And I'm hoping that, people can take today and say, okay, let me take a break, and it leads to longer term no tobacco.
Well, I only smoke a cigar once a month, and so I'm good. I had nothing.
Okay. He indulges. It's okay. He indulges in a little, libation here and there.
Just once a month. Yeah. So real quickly, man, I just lost my train of thought. I actually had
That's a first.
I should have written on my board, but I'll remember it and say it later. Lee, check you later. Have yourself a wonderful day.
I will. And just before I go, I want to wish my partner a very happy birthday today. It is his birthday, and I'm getting a chance to do my newscast in my new area and spot. So this is exciting for us. So yes, big happy birthday to you, Honey Bunch.
I would sing, but when I sing, other people try to jump in and take my solo, and it doesn't come across as well. But happy birthday. Make sure he has a good one.
I will let him know. That's it. No singing, Jamal. We're good.
Have a wonderful day.
See you guys later.
All right. We are going to take a quick break. We're going to be back. Nikki Fagan, do not go anywhere, my friends. It's going to get better than it has already been. Stick with us.
Let's face it, life can be a little wild, but shopping doesn't have to be. I choose People's, so that whether it's a prescription that needs to be filled, a toy for my little terror, or a gift for a new addition to the family, we'll see about that. Everything's available in one convenient location. Some call it People's, I call it my one-stop shop in the city. People's, we're here for you.
We're featuring a range of remarkably effective household cleaning solutions made with ecologically sound ingredients and pleasing fragrances from Ecos, a company with over 50 years experience producing plant-powered cleaning products. The founder was a veteran chemist in the cleaning products industry and started up Ecos as a response to the harsh chemicals he had routinely encountered. Try Ecos non-abrasive cream cleanser, vinegar window cleaner, and in spray bottles, Orange Plus and Parsley Plus cleaners, shower and floor cleaners, furniture polish, and stain and odor remover. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
Mom's celebrating her 70th birthday next month. Have you noticed her age is catching up with her?
Yeah. Plus, she's having a hard time getting up and around like she's used to. I would sure hate to see her fall.
At Medical House Limited, we can help make life situations easier. We have electric beds, motorized scooters, bath stools, walkers, you name it.
Mom's been real good to us. We'll get her birthday and Christmas gifts from Medical House.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dandytown Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke. Telephone 292-3622.
All right, greetings everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. I'm sorry, my water here. No, I thought I saw something in it. You know how you have clear water and you think you see something? Anyway, welcome back to the big show. Central Durham, Jamal Hartman. It's the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House, One Communications, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Folks, if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed on our website so you don't miss a chance for updates, promotions, prizes, and more. Also, if you're on the go and can't watch, that's okay. You can be like the other people who are doing it right now. Go on our BCG Radio app, available for both Android and Apple devices, and you can listen to us every single time we go live. Without further ado, let's bring in our guest for the day. We've got Nikki Fagan. She's representing the Bermuda Economic Development Corporation this morning. Good morning, good sister. How are you?
I have a different hat on today.
Well, yeah. You know, Nikki doesn't like us. She didn't like us.
I haven't been invited. Like, what type of friend are y'all? Like, you don't even invite me over anymore.
You know, Sanch, what it was is I used to crash her party. You know, they friends, you know, with Brand Lion, they used to go live Fridays, and I would be, you know, one of the very few guys that showed up. But I enjoyed what they do. I still enjoy what they do, and I'm thankful that after 2 years you've come back, even in a different role. And have a conversation. But yeah, welcome back. But let's get into the convo. So
yeah,
you we knew you last time. You as the Brand Lion, you were helping different brands do their thing. Speak to us about your role with the Bermuda Economic Development Corporation.
So there was an ad that had that the BEDC had run for a contract for a company who was interested in taking on their incubation lead role. And so that means that Enterprise Bermuda, which ironically you were talking about your conversation this morning, and Enterprise actually brought in the enslaved people, and then they were able to become free people once they got to Bermuda. So it's a nice little segue. Anyway, Enterprise Bermuda is the incubation program that the BEDC have been running now. This is the 5th cohort. And so they ran an ad and they were asking for someone to take that on, someone who was going to hold the entrepreneur's hands as they worked the program. And so I was like, this job is for me. So I am going to be working with them for the next year, supporting the entrepreneurs as they go through their business creation, business building.
And congratulations on the role. Couldn't have chose a better person. But what is the program about? Like what what is a quick synopsis of the Enterprise Incubator Program?
So basically, if you are one of those people in Bermuda who either have a business that's less than 3 years old, or if you have an idea for a business, you can join this incubator and you will have 12 months of key structural framework lessons on how to build your business, how to take your business from the idea to an actual business. And that is from the legal standpoint, as far as trademarking, registering your company properly at the tax commission and those type of things, to the actual, pricing your products, understanding the mentality and the mindset of the ebbs and flows of being an entrepreneur. So that's what it is in a nutshell.
This type of stuff makes me excited.
I know this right up your
alley. So explain why a program like this is necessary.
Well, I'll tell you this. I wish that back when Jesus was a baby, whenever I started my first company, I had a program like this, right? Because really most of us that start businesses are winging it. Most of us are, we have a thing that we like and we're like, let's turn the thing into a business, right? We don't all come with the knowledge of like, okay, a business should be structured like this. In order for me to make profit next year, a business should be doing this, right? A lot of us are winging it. And so what a program like this does is it helps to minimize the winging it. You still have to have some agility, because that is name the game in entrepreneurship. There has to be some agility. You have to understand that, everything is not going to be exactly, hello, COVID. Things change, right? But a program like this helps you to get the fundamentals done. And so it's really, really important. Right now, more than ever, Bermuda needs new businesses. Bermuda needs fresh ideas. Bermuda, we're ready for a revival. And so if there is an idea knocking around in your head, and I know that there are, because most of us have them, and then there are some of us that are brave enough or foolhardy enough, whichever one you think, to actually bring those ideas to fruition. And then there are some of us who are a little nervous about doing it on our own.
So with that being said, who exactly is this program geared towards?
So anyone who is less than 3 years in business, number one. If you have a business that is, I would even go as far as to say, even if your business is almost failing in less than 3 years, this program is for you, right? Because just because it's almost failing doesn't mean that the idea is not still a valid idea. It just may mean that you have not put the proper framework and systems in place in order to support it. So that would be number two. Number three would be, if you right now have a business and you are not quite in love with the business, right? Like you're doing it, but something feels missing. And if you have that business, you'll know if something feels like it's missing. I would invite you as well to come and have a conversation and see if this is the right place for you. Because sometimes we start businesses in the beginning and then we feel stuck. We feel like we have to see it through, right? And we don't have to see it through. We can actually put some other things in place to make sure that the business actually is what we are passionate about or what we actually want to do, right? So we don't have to see things through even if they're not working.
Makes sense. So how will the success of the program be measured?
That is part of the exciting part, right? So I am the new part. They've got some new flashy things at BEDC now, right? So I am one of the flash, right? Number two on Flash is that they have this new online platform that Accelerator Canada has helped to create. It is an online platform where the entrepreneurs can actually track their progress. They can actually, talk to each other, talk to me. They can, all of the things that they're learning, they can compile in one place. And then there are all of these bells and whistles. And so you can see the progress as you go. So that's a major part. And also there are now 3 additional centers, one in St. George's, one in Somerset, and one in North Hamilton, where the entrepreneurs have their own offices. So it's 24-hour access to an office, to a space that is really going to be magical, because you get to be around other entrepreneurs who are in the same position as you as far as wanting to grow. So that is another really exciting part. 24-hour access, Wi-Fi comes along with that package, a meeting room whenever you need to meet potential vendors. If you want to hold any type of gathering, you can do that all in this space.
I don't think people understand. I can't, I come from business, and like you said, if I had this when I was trying to start my businesses, it's amazing. Like, to be able to, you have a meeting space, you can, and just be one of my biggest things, and I say all the time, when you become an entrepreneur, it can become very, very lonely. And if you have this, whereas, you're able to say, this is a group where I'm able to feed off of, say, these are my challenges. It's amazing. And with that being said, I mean, Nikki, you and I talk all the time, and you've worked with so many people over the years, helping them develop. If people don't know you, like, Nikki's a boss at this, right? So for you to have the opportunity to work with Nikki during this, she helps people develop their business and their brand. Tell me, what are some of the common challenges that you've come across, and how do you teach people to work through them?
I'll tell you one of the biggest challenges. And you wouldn't think, because we're such a boisterous people, we're so opinionated. But one of the biggest challenges is that people don't dream big enough, right? And so, people will say, well, and I talk about popcorn all the time because that seems to be the most popular business in Bermuda. But people will say, I'm going to do a little something. I'll do a popcorn business, right? And so then they get their bags, they get their popcorn seeds, they put it together, and they sell popcorn, right? In their mind, though, they really want a free trade factory in India that provides for the economy. But the only thing they will allow themselves to do is there's popcorn seeds in their bags and, sell them at football games, right? And so that is one of the biggest challenges, is to get people to get out of their own way and actually have the business or be brave enough to birth the business that they actually want to have, right? So that's the commonality over and over and over. There are a lot of like little businesses in Bermuda, right? And that's no slight at all, because get your money how you want it. No slight, but if they would just give themselves that little bit of grace and space to dream a little bigger.
Yeah. And I think people don't realize that although you are in Bermuda, you can do business throughout the world and still be in Bermuda doing that business. And I think that kind of goes over people's head a little bit sometimes. So to hear that coming from you, it's so refreshing, and I have people hitting my phone up like, I want to be a part of that. How do I be a part of that? So where can people learn more? How can they sign up? How do they contact you?
So what you can do is go on over to bdc.bm, and you can find out more about the program. The program that you're looking for is the Enterprise Bermuda program, right? That's what you're looking for. Also, you can slide on into my email at my new fancy BDC email address. It's nfagan@bdc.bm. We can chat there. We can jump on a Zoom, right? If you want to talk about it, you're like, I don't know, Nikki, it might be me, but is it me? We could talk about it, right? You can reach out to anybody at BDC. If you have a personal relationship, you can reach out to anybody there and they can talk you through it as well. But I am about to be your best friend in real life for the next 12 months. So come on over and chat with me about it.
I love it. I love it. And if you have any questions or comments for Nikki, send them through. We've got Sean Smith. He's asking, does the program offer mentorship during and after someone is finished?
Sean, Sean, was you not paying attention? Yes, Sean, I'm here for you. Every module you work through, we have to meet twice a month, sir. Me and you.
So how about
after mentorship? There will be some mentorship as well.
After the done with the program?
So the after mentorship, we have not worked out yet, but noted.
Okay.
But I will write that down.
See, part of your question was okay, Sean. Should have stopped, just put the hand. But no, I love it. I'm a big fan of entrepreneurship. No, what do you come across? And this question's for you both, because I have an idea of my own, but why do you think so many people are turning towards entrepreneurship?
Why? To be honest, I think that I see two different phases. I see a group of people that are turning towards entrepreneurship, but then I also see a group of people that are saying, okay, I want to head the other way. And I think that people turn to entrepreneurship more so for self-gratification. You get to a point where it's like, okay, I need to make my own schedule. We're a new breed of people. We don't like to do a 9 to 5, and especially with COVID. Like once COVID came around and they told us that we could work from home, it's like I can work from home and I can actually do something on my own. We had time to think about it. We had time to go into the lab and say, I've had this idea in the back of my mind for a while now. How do I execute it? And you're seeing a lot of that now. They want to make their own time. And especially if you have kids, you want to be able to say, I'm taking a month off to be with my kid, and it's okay. You don't want to be a slave to the system. But then when you make those decisions, please do consider that there's a lot behind it, and it's a lot of commitment. You're now paying your own insurance. Your benefits aren't as good as they used to be. It's things now. When I go to pay my insurance, I'm like, oh my God, I remember when I was with America's Cup, they paid it all.
What are you hearing, Nikki? What do you got?
Well, I agree with everything Sanchez said. I think that right now, I think that the pandemic has made people understand the realities of you can be let go of any time at any time, right? Like, no one could have dreamed a pandemic. Not us regular people, right? I know there's a couple of y'all out there that know everything about everything, but the rest of us, we did not have the dreams that a pandemic was possible at this moment. And so, the amount of layoffs that happen or downsizing that business is done meant that there are a lot of people out of work, right? And so entrepreneurship now became a possibility to be self-sufficient, right? Oh, sorry, I got distracted by Keisha's comment. Yeah.
Well, I'll say this much. I think there are so many different reasons people turn towards entrepreneurship. You just touched on something. I mean, we don't know people who work full-time jobs. I always speak about preparing for that day. I don't think we think like that, but and I'm no expert, but I always say we should all be prepared for that day. On any given day, a job can say we no longer need your services. The position is no longer needed. That's a lesson I learned. I had business ideas and to know how to run a business probably all my life. Not perfectly or great where I don't need assistance, but because I put others, companies, or organizations first, I never gave myself the opportunity to thrive. Personally, entrepreneurship is the way to go for me, because my kind of Black isn't going to grow in a white establishment. That's the truth. That's the reality. The way I think, the way I want to get things done doesn't align with most traditional companies and organizations. Things are structured in a way where people want to keep you in place, despite what companies say that they're going to run like Google and Silicon Valley and let people express themselves. I understand that the way I think, to get things done, I have to go do it on my own. And so that's what's driven me towards it. And I share that because there are so many people with great ideas. And I know not everyone's going to be an entrepreneur. Not everyone's going to own a business. But when you get frustrated at your company because you have ideas and want to do stuff, do not be afraid to go try it on your own. And as Sanchez mentioned, it's not going to be easy. Once you realize the insurance, the benefits, you're not getting paid from them on vacation unless you structure a company where it can afford. Like, it's not easy. None of us are going to tell you it's easy. But I believe it'll probably be worth it once you develop a plan, a strategy, and execute it in a manner that can help you. And I am grateful for organizations like the Bermuda Economic Development Corporation, but also people like these two. Surround yourself with people like them. You know, I say on like Instagram and Twitter, I only follow accounts that I can learn from. I mean that. Follow the people and things you can learn from. Ask questions. Develop a relationship where you can go and have lunch with a Nikki or a Sanchez and say, okay, I want to, learn more. Tell me da-da-da. No, they may charge you for your time. They may, but I'm just saying. But it's not easy. But like Nikki said, dream big. There was a famous fish sandwich in Bermuda, and people always wonder, why don't they branch out, create a what's those things called, franchise or something? We were comfortable. The popcorn example is a perfect one. We got comfortable. I am just hopeful because you said what Craig Simmons, the economist, said when he was on this show. Entrepreneurship is going to be the way out of our current situation economically as a country. Mm-hmm. That's going to be our way out. And so my hope is that people take advantage of this program, people reach out, and they listen. They listen.
I want to say something quickly for people that don't know. I can say, like I said, been an entrepreneur for a long time. And recently I just reached out to the BEDC and I'm in one of their programs. And I can say that the BEDC is amazing. Like, they hold your hand through things where, and I am able to actually be around like-minded people and have these conversations. And even if I've seen people that are not at the level where I am, and I'm able to see their growth. I've seen people where they're a little ahead of me in their business, and I'm able to look up and be like, okay, well, this is where he is, and this is what he's done. So I tell people in saying that, please do not shut things out. I know some people just like, what am I going to get out of that? And what they are really, really good. And I co-sign, I'm signing a dotted line for Nikki. Nikki is amazing. So take this opportunity and please sign up.
I have a question, Nikki, real quickly. So Keisha Denise says, business plan is of utmost importance. I actually disagree with that. What are your thoughts on a business plan?
I disagree.
Same, yeah.
I disagree. Now, let me tell you though, Keisha, it's not that there is no need for a business plan at all, but it does not have to be in the cumbersome way. Because sometimes that cumbersome way of doing it will stop someone from doing it completely.
Correct.
We can do a framework and a structure that creates the same kind of information points that a business plan can that you don't necessarily need. But I want to say one thing though before we go very quickly, which is I know us, I know our people, and we complain about a lot. We notice a lot of what is missing in this island, right? That's what we do. We're talkers. Mm-hmm. And so what I invite you to do is there's things that are missing in your island. There's things that you see in other places as you travel and you say, I wish we could have. Bermuda don't have this. I invite you to consider the program and consider what you can contribute to your island, to your economy, right? Because I know we're all looking for this white horse to swoop in and save us. It's not going to happen, but we can't save ourselves, right? We can save ourselves. And so have a look today, have a look tomorrow. Don't look after that because the program, they close on June the 3rd. So don't look too long, but please have a look and see what's missing and see what you can do to contribute to the growth of our country.
Nikki Fagan, Bermuda Economic Development Corporation. Thank you. Always appreciate conversations like this. Hopefully, we get you back on within 2 months rather than 2 years. Yep, that's a shot. That's a shot. But please keep us updated. Let us know how the program's going, and if there's anything else we can do. Thank you. Have a wonderful day, Nikki.
Thanks, y'all.
Alrighty, Nikki Fagan, folks, go sign that up. If you know someone who has a business, make sure they sign up as well. We're going to take a quick break. Do not go anywhere. We're going to wrap it up. And also daily play trivia.
A lot happens around your home. That is why at One Communications, we have introduced affordable security and video monitoring, because everyone should be able to afford to protect their family. Anytime, from anywhere, One Home Security keeps you connected and puts security in your hands with an easy-to-use smartphone app to control everything. Home security is important to keep you and your family safe. Motion-activated cameras around your home and security monitoring within create a complete security system providing protection both inside and outside your home. Professional monitoring means that there's someone on call with 24/7 protection to notify the authorities and help keep you and your loved ones safe. We are dedicated to whole home protection with indoor and outdoor cameras, smart door locks, motion sensors, and more, so you'll always be connected to what matters most. With professional installation, no upfront hardware fees, and low monthly rates, because keeping your family safe should be affordable for everyone. Total home video monitoring and security, there's no better way to protect your home than with One Home Security.
I'm part of the SSCP, giving us opportunities to go out and sell, which is what I'm doing today.
One of the most important things I learned in the SSCP is that failure is just a part of being an entrepreneur.
As a vocal community, then you can't go anywhere, can you?
I just believe it's a really beautiful and amazing experience for everybody.
A lot of late nights being up, trying to finalize things, especially for me.
You don't have to do everything at once. Little steps is the key to success.
They helped me go through every step of the way.
It has helped me gain more confidence, so that's one thing.
I'm Marley Spriggs and I am an entrepreneur.
My name is Joshua Allen and I am an entrepreneur.
My name is Trey Robertson Richards and I am an entrepreneur.
My name is Namira Rayner and I am an entrepreneur.
My name is Vincent Darrow and I am an entrepreneur.
I'm Shayla Swan and I'm an entrepreneur.
I am Sophia Cannonier. I am an entrepreneur.
My name is Zion and I'm a young entrepreneur.
Alrighty, welcome back to the Big Show. Remember earlier I said I had something and I lost my train of thought?
Mm-hmm.
What it was is Leanna mentioned Krista Stwanick in her newscast, and I tweeted that I don't know what's in his diet or his exercise regime, but I want it. That brother, 13.1 miles, and looks like he's just come outside to take out the trash.
Just strolling, right? Just when he came across me, it was like,
what?
He's doing his thing.
Seriously, like that. But that's it. I'm impressed. Congratulations to Chris Stwanick again, and the young Isabel Detroit. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, so my apologies, but she ran fantastic. Like, I actually tried her stride this morning. It didn't quite work out, but I tried her stride this morning.
I actually want to give a quick shout out to Jesse. Jesse ran the entire marathon.
Really?
Did not train. Just, like, I'm going to do it. And he did it in honor of his mom. So,
wow. Congratulations,
Jesse.
Yeah. Wow. And he was out with the gum bears later?
Listen, Jesse rented one of those little scooters, right? I saw him in a distance. I'm like, what's going on?
People are built different, boy, I tell you. But congratulations to him. Honestly, I rate people who do that. Time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Heineken 0.0. Great taste, no alcohol. Sandra, are you ready?
All right. Let's have it.
Folks, help her out, because it is.
I don't even know what it is.
All right, it's history. Remember when? It's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Okay.
Universal but not equal suffrage was achieved in Bermuda in what decade?
You're playing the music. I need the question again.
Universal but not equal suffrage was achieved in what decade?
No, I didn't.
That was a tough one, and my apologies, but no one knows the answer to that. So, universal but not equal suffrage. Now, let me explain. It was not equal because landowners receive a plus vote. All right. But no one's got it. People are saying the 1930s, some the 50s, the 80s. It was actually 1961.
60. I was going to say 60.
1961, universal but not equal suffrage was achieved in Bermuda. 1961.
That's not long ago.
Not. It's really not.
Not long ago.
Our parents were alive. That's not long ago.
Yeah.
Sanchez, let's wrap up today's show. Final thoughts on Sophia Cannonier and then Nikki and Bermuda Economic.
My final thoughts on Sophia Cannonier is that I'm not going to give her much more energy. I feel like Sophia Cannonier, as I said before, had a stage to make it a teachable moment, and she made it about herself. And I am not going to continue to make it any more about her. So move on. Nikki, I am so excited that you have moved into this role at the BEDC. I know that you're going to make it so much better. Not saying that it wasn't good. I think that you're going to bring so much to this program, and I feel that people can get so much out of it. So if you have an idea that, you've been sitting, and I don't care how small it is, just try it out. Have a conversation with her. Like, Nikki's a talker, so she will talk you through it, and be open to have that conversation.
Yeah. I agree with you, Sanchez. We have to be careful what we give our attention and our energy to. I feel like the conversation's over. We've made the points, but there's lessons in this. And some of the lessons going forward is, folks, know your issue, focus on your issue, but be careful about comparing your issue with others. You may lose the very people who support you. As far as Nikki, it's so much to take away from that. And one of the things I take away from it is Sanchez comes from business roots, if that's possible. And I mean that in a very positive way. Entrepreneurship's in her blood. But when she said today that she's even working with the BDC, I like her vulnerability in terms of, look, I've been doing this for years, but I may still need assistance here or there. The reason I mention that is, folks, none of us know it all.
Mm-hmm.
None of us. I know you all think I do. I know. None of us know it all. And sometimes it's okay to ask people for advice, for assistance, right? That's how we grow. That's how we become better. And so if you have a business less than 3 years old that you believe is doing well but can do better, or if it's not doing so well, reach out. See if there's something that they can do to assist you. Sanch, you got anything for daily inspiration for us?
I do. So success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. And that is by Winston Churchill.
I love that. I love that one. On that note, thanks again to our partners, Medical House, One Communications, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy, for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. She's Sanchez Durham. I'm Jamal Hartman. My friends, please do make it a safe and great day. We are out. Peace.